Hello and welcome to ScamWATCH, your current source of news, tips and information highlighting the scams and frauds impacting seniors, families, businesses and consumers on Vancouver Island. I'm Rosalind Scott, President and CEO of the Vancouver Island Better Business Bureau.
And I'm Constable Catherine Colthart of the RCMP E-Division Commercial Crime Section. This week we are talking about point of sale or POS and ATM scams. POS or ATM scams occur when con artists steal your debit and credit card information. This can be done when you're paying for an item at a cashier using a POS terminal or getting cash out of an ATM machine.
POS and ATM scams can take place in both high-tech and low-tech ways. An example of a low-tech way somebody might steal your credit card information is when a cashier, a sales clerk, or a waitress simply writes down the name and number of your card and the security code. A low-tech way of taking your debit card information is when they carefully look to see your PIN number when you're entering it, and then they conveniently forget to give you back your card. A high-tech way of stealing the same information is when hidden cameras, false keypads, and magnetic strip readers are installed in and around the POS terminal or the ATM machine, and they can capture and read your information.
Fraudulent skimming or card scanning devices have been installed in ATM machines in stores, movie theaters, gas stations, nightclubs, and even on bank machines inside the bank itself. Mobile POS machines, such as the ones a server brings you in a restaurant, can also be tampered with. Handheld card skimmers can be very small and fit into the palm of the hand, yet can acquire a great deal of private information. The main purpose of these devices is to get as much information as they can from your debit or credit card. Scammers then make purchases online or via phone using your personal information or create actual fake debit or credit cards.
Skimming and card scanning devices can be extremely sophisticated and very difficult to detect. And low-tech methods can be equally tricky to recognize. And of course, con artists use a combination of both high and low-tech methods to try and steal your information. A good example usually happens at an ATM after hours, on the weekend or perhaps at night when there's hardly anybody around. The con artist enters the area when it's clear and inserts a metal strip into the machine. Then they wait for somebody to come along and use the ATM. When the victim arrives and puts their card in, the card appears to be stuck and the machine seems to be not working. So the con artist, being helpful, comes over and says that they'll try and assist. And in the course of that, what they're trying to do is see the person enter their PIN number or perhaps get them to tell the PIN number to them. And of course, after the customer leaves without their money and without their card, because after all, the bank is closed, the con artist removes the strip from the machine and uses the information to take money.
Another similar scam that has happened in Victoria in the past occurred when the POS terminals at a grocery store were tampered with. A number of POS terminals were swapped out at the store by bad guys and replaced by fake POS terminals that looked the same. The fake terminals copied bank account information and PIN numbers as people paid for the groceries. The bad guys then snuck back into the store and replaced each of the terminals with the real ones. In the meantime, they had managed to capture the financial information of a few hundred unsuspecting victims.
So as a consumer, how can you tell if a POS terminal or an ATM machine has been tampered with? Well, the truth is, you most likely can't. Because a criminal has interfered with the internal workings of the machine, it's almost impossible for the average person to know that something illegal is going on. That being said, in general, you can reduce your chances of becoming a victim by paying attention to the details whenever you use POS and ATM devices. Firstly, familiarize yourself with what the machines that you regularly use look like. Be aware of security features that are around POS and ATM machines. Criminals will target the terminals that are the easiest to get to, with the least amount of security features. Many terminals and ATMs have protective casings around keypads so you can pay in private. Pay attention to and be wary of cashiers that handle your credit or debit card. If your card is out of your sight or out of your hand, pay attention to where it is being used. Be very suspicious of strangers lingering around machines. If somebody is standing too close to you or looking over your shoulder, ask them to step away. In general, it's important just to try and keep tabs on where your cards go, who has them, and to protect your PIN information.
There are a few other things you can do to protect yourself. If for any reason you feel uncomfortable about a situation while you're buying an item or taking money out of an ATM, feel free to just stop or cancel the transaction before going any further. If something seems suspicious about a POS device or ATM, report it immediately to the management of a business, bank, or location of the device. Never allow a sales assistant, cashier, or server to swipe your card through a second machine. And while it can be difficult to identify POS and ATM fraud when it is taking place, the best way to protect yourself and to reduce the potential impact if you're a victim is to regularly monitor your financial statements. At a minimum, you should be monitoring activity on your bank and credit card statements once or twice a month.
So how can the Better Business Bureau help when it comes to this kind of scam? ATM and point-of-sale scams are really financial fraud and are best dealt with by the police. Behind these scams are organized crime groups, corrupt employees, and sometimes an unethical business owner. The BBB recommends that you always do business with a company that you can trust, one that you've built a relationship with. And if you visit our website, we can steer you towards the A+ accredited companies that really you should be doing business with on a daily basis. The other thing you can do is if you have information about a consumer, or perhaps you've been a victim and haven't been dealt well with by a business after you've been scammed, do let us know and we can monitor that activity on the Business Review.
Yes, when it comes to POS and ATM frauds, this is a police matter. If you find yourself a victim of such a scam, or if you notice device tampering, you should definitely notify the business involved, but also the police. Even if the company seems to be handling the situation, the police will want to be involved. Often these scams are part of a larger scam.
The best way to protect yourself from this and any other kind of scam is to stay informed and use your common sense.
For more information on scams, frauds, and crimes impacting your region, be sure to visit the BBB serving Vancouver Island and your local police websites.
And if you have a personal story or scam or fraud that you'd like us to share with you on ScamWATCH, please send the information to info@vi.bbb.org.